Hi everyone, today I'm going to present about my puppet show with the title The Clever Frog. One day, Frog decided that he needed to borrow and he needed a new bow and he also needed a flute. So he decided to borrow those things from his brother-in-law, Jaguar. Jaguar was well known for eating people, for eating animals. So Frog went. On his way, he passed by some villagers. When the villagers know where he was going, where he was headed, they said, "If you go to Jaguar's home, you will get eaten." But Frog went anyway. When Frog arrived at Jaguar's home, he said, "Hello, hi brother, how are you?" Jaguar said, "I'm fine," licking his lips hungrily. "Come in, sit, and let's talk." They talked for a very, very long time. The villagers thought that Frog was eaten by Jaguar. One of the villagers said, "Maybe Frog wanted to get eaten by Jaguar." Jaguar really wanted to eat Frog, but he didn't want people, which is the villagers, to see him eat Frog. So he decided to ask Frog to go out to the lake to bath. And he said, "Frog, let's go to the lake to bath." And Frog agreed. On their way out, the villagers saw that Frog was not eaten by Jaguar yet, and they thought that Jaguar had grown soft. On their way to the lake, Frog noticed that Jaguar wanted to get behind him so that he can jump on Frog and eat him. So Frog tried to prevent that from happening. After they bathed in the lake, they went back home to Jaguar's home. When they arrived, Jaguar said, "Frog, why don't you stay overnight in my home for tonight?" So Frog agreed. But before he slept, he went out the hut and caught a firefly and took out the lantern from its body and rubbed it on his eye. When he got back inside the hut, his eyes were glowing in the dark, and he began to sleep. When he was asleep, Jaguar sneaked up to his hut, and when he saw that Frog's eyes were glowing, he thought that it was Frog's eyes who was looking straight at him. So he sneaked back into his hut. The next day, Frog said to Jaguar that he needed to borrow a bow and a flute. So Jaguar lended to him. As Frog left, he suspected that Jaguar was following him, and apparently he was. So on his way, he passed by a group of ants. And he divided the group of ants into two and sent them, each of the group, to the forest to look for jaguar. When one of the group found jaguar, they began to bite his legs, his feet, and jaguar stomped furiously, trying to get the ants off of his feet. When Frog heard the noise, he knew that they have found jaguar, and he knew exactly where he was. So he jumped to jaguar. Jaguar, why are you following me? He said. And Jaguar replied, I was afraid that the children would harm you. Jaguar said, trying to smile. Then Frog said, it isn't the children who are trying to harm me. But it's you. So Frog shot an arrow to Jaguar, but he missed, and Jaguar ran into the forest. He ran and ran, and he met a group of snakes. A snake village. And he said to them that Frog was coming this way, and he said to kill Frog. He told the snakes to kill Frog. So the snakes followed what Jaguar had said. When Frog had arrived in Snake Village, the snakes immediately caught Frog and was about to kill him. But he said, "Don't kill me here. My blood will flow. Instead, bring me to the river, so my blood will flow in the river." So they agreed. When they got to the river, and in the moment they let Frog go, he jumped into the lake and vanished. At that very moment, the snakes jumped, the boa, the cobra jumped into the lake, trying to find Frog. But they couldn't, for Frog swam fast and he has hidden underneath the surface deep inside. So they gave up trying to search for him and left. So Frog jumped out after they left and climbed up to the moon and played the flute that the Jaguar had landed him. When Jaguar heard the sound of the music that Frog was playing, was furious. His eyes shone with fury. And he said, "Now Frog is up there, making fun of us. And until this day, we still can hear Frog playing the flute on the moon." Thank you for listening to my puppet show.